Hi. I was just reading again this beautiful book, and something just struck me, and so I wanted to talk about it. And it's the fact that I feel like one characteristic about successful people is that they never think themselves as being successful. Like, they hold themselves to standards that exceed what would objectively be called successful. And I mean, I don't know, that's why you hear best-selling authors talking about their book like, yeah, I feel like I could have done better. Everyone else is like, what the fuck are you saying? You just wrote a best-selling book. And all they say is like, yeah, I could have done better. Um, but I think that is exactly the reason why they are successful. And I think one of the dangerous things that can happen is when you start listening to other people praising your work and you accept it as being true. When people say, don't be too hard on yourself, like when you do something and it turned out all right, but you also know you could have done better. And then people look at it and they think it's pretty good and they tell you, don't be too hard on yourself, it's really good. Don't, and you shouldn't listen to that, because you thinking you could have done better means you are holding yourself to your own standards and not to everyone else's standards. And that is exactly the reason why you were able to push yourself to get on that level where other people say it turned out really good. So I think the only thing you have to be aware of, that your own self-critique and your own high standards, they can't be crippling yourself. Like, if your high standards get to a point where you don't put out anything anymore, because that it can't turn into perfectionism, where you don't put out your work, where you decide to not publish the book because you're not fully happy. When you don't, put out your work ever because you feel like you could have done better, and unless it's the very best you can do, it can't get out. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is we shouldn't listen to other people telling us to not be so hard on ourselves. Being so hard on ourselves is exactly how we push ourselves, to get on a certain level. Okay, I'm trying this stuff for the first time, which is like a mushroom elixir. It's supposed to be like coffee, but just like stimulating your brain a bit. I guess it's kind of a smart drug. Like, it's not a drug, it's not like mushrooms, it's not gonna make me high. But it's supposed to, enhance brain activity. I've actually heard a lot of people, talk about it and use it. So I'm not just like randomly buying shit off of Amazon. Well, I'm kind of doing, but it's legal, so it can't be that bad. So let's see how this thing works. I think I'm first gonna put this in, then I'm gonna put in the water. Oh, great. Lion's mane mushroom. Not sure if I want to also breathe it in. Looks like cacao powder. So it looks like cacao powder, and it smells like malt. Like just malt. I feel like it might taste good. Let's see what's in there. Lion's mane mushroom, dual extract, mint, rosehip, rhodiola root, stevia for sweetening, And that's it. And now they want 200 milliliters of water in there. Alrighty, let's mix this shit up. Okay, this looks more like tea than coffee. It's very watery. It's not very like thick, dark. Yeah, that's very watery. That just smells like malt. Let's put this away. Should I try it right away without trying to burn my tongue? I'm gonna use the spoon because otherwise I'm gonna burn my tongue. Just tastes like water with a little bit of malty flavor. It's very weak. But I did put the right amount of water in there, so that shouldn't be the problem. And also now I'm gonna work again from the big screen because your boy needs the second screen. Apple TV, do your thing. Come on. Oh, it's not turned on. No, it is. Why are you not on? The fuck? Oh, it just did it. I feel like that's just life. Like, you guys saw it was black all this time, and literally right the second I take the thingy and turn it on, it turns on, and so I turn it off. There we go. There we go. What did just happen? The fuck? Stop it. I just want to work. Yeah, so let's work and I'll keep you updated whether that thing's gonna make me high. No, I'm feeling pretty normal. Well, I guess that's a good thing. I feel like I'm getting a better understanding of how long things take and what things actually take a long time. Because, I mean, I dropped out of college 1.5 years ago, which is nothing, right? And from then it was a lot of like just from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, you know? I did like some fundraising for like 3 months. I was in New York for like 6 months. The content I create is really just from a day-to-day basis. It's just like, okay, what happened today? Okay, let me, you know, create some content around that. And in my mind, like, I think the reason why I'm so bad at like setting, you know, 1-year goals or 5-year goals, is because I can't yet perceive a thing that I would need to build at for 5 years to actually, you know, build it. But I feel like I'm now understanding with, you know, with the company I'm trying to build, and with all these like schedules and plans and to-do lists I'm creating, like I'm setting myself a schedule, and even though I'm putting in the time and I'm doing it and I'm not, you know, obviously you can always be more productive, but I'm realizing how much fucking work this actually is. How much time I actually need to be heads down and groundwork and grind to, you know, build something. And I feel like for the first time, I feel like I get a grasp on something that I feel comfortable setting at a 1-year goal, because I'm understanding that this would be something that actually needs a year of 10 hours, 12 hours every single day, you know, to get to a point where it is something and not nothing anymore. Yeah, I mean, I haven't set a 1 year goal yet, but I think that's for me, that feels more organic for setting goals. I know that people talk about like set a 1 year goal, set a 5 year goal. I never could, because I'm like, I have no clue what happens in 5 years, and I still don't. But I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm slowly, being able to appreciate things that take a year, which would enable me to actually set a 1 year goal, and not just arbitrarily say something because, well, you gotta have a 1 year goal. I don't know though. Oh, I just went grocery shopping and I bought some goodies. Look at this. Sprouts. Tastes like shit, but it's very good for you. I bought some fish. I bought some salad. And I bought the best thing that exists in the world, macadamia nuts. I'm actually surprised that this package right now, even though it's open, it's not empty yet. Because usually the time frame that exists between opening macadamia nuts and the macadamia nuts package being empty is pretty much non-existent. But I'm working on my discipline. But one of the things I realized, which makes no sense at all, is that I felt while I was doing groceries that I was not being productive because, I was not on my laptop, I was not working on the agency, I was not doing work. But productivity is about getting shit done, if you think about it. And doing groceries is as much part of that as is, doing like agency work or consulting work. Because if I don't do groceries, I don't have food. If I don't have food, I can't eat and then I'll die. And if you're dead, you can't actually work. Surprise, surprise. So, yeah, it's just, not only, the actual work task, you're being productive. Like sleeping is productive. Like getting 8 hours of sleep, that's productive. Working out, that's productive. That's what I'm trying to remind myself too right now because I haven't been fucking working out, So, don't be too hard on yourself, which is funny now that I'm saying it, right? There are certain things where you shouldn't be hard on yourself. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not contradicting myself. Not sure. I'm so happy right now because it's 11 p.m. and I'm stopping my day. This is out. It's doing its work. Did my to-do list for tomorrow. Finished that. And I was tempted. You always get that temptation where you say like, let's just check Instagram for like 5 minutes. But it's never going to be 5 minutes. It's more like 50 minutes. If you're just gonna, just check Instagram, if something important happened. No. So I didn't check it. And I'm so happy right now. And I'm gonna go to bed on time. So see you tomorrow. If you like the vlogs, make sure, you leave a like. And if you're new and you actually managed to, watch all the way to the end, there's probably something wrong with you, but then you can also subscribe, and then see you tomorrow.
Hard to wake up when there's no alarm to wake you up. Sitting, breathing, doing all the things I hate a lot. But why